I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that.
Under the bed.
That lawnmower, that's it.
Gervonta does have a very athletic speed, quick reflex style. So you've got to sort of pressure intelligently. But while I have said in the past, and I still believe this, that Roach doesn't have that special thing like where he's got really fast hands or a really powerful punch.
Lamont Roach seems worried after seeing Gervonta Davis's new intense training video ahead of their rematch. Roach admitted that after watching it, he realized he needs to train harder and with more focus this time. He said Gervonta looked strong in the video and called him a tough fighter. Roach also admitted that in their first fight, Gervonta landed the hardest punch of the night.
How many matches that you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's gonna be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't get me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Gervonta Davis is training hard for the rematch, fully focused on proving he's still one of the best. He wants to silence the critics and show everyone that he's stronger than before. With more discipline and effort, he's working to fix his past mistakes and give a powerful performance that clearly shows he's the better fighter.
Hold under the bed.
That lawnmower, that's it. Start that motherfucking lawnmower.
I made the decision to train in DC because, you know, I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute, so I feel as though this will help me. I'm from Baltimore. He's not from DC. That's what I learned. I thought he was from DC too.
Gervonta Davis is not taking any risks this time. His training camp is serious, and recent footage shows him moving smoothly in the ring during sparring. His footwork is quick, his moves are well planned, and his reflexes are sharp. He's not just training for the sake of it, he's doing everything with a clear goal. With the rematch coming soon, Davis knows he can't make any mistakes. The last fight showed him that underestimating Lamont Roach could be dangerous, so now he's working harder than ever to be fully ready.
Stop closing up. Gotta let it go. You turn, step around. You turn.
Along with his skills, Davis is training with serious intensity. In one clip, he's seen hitting the sandbag with powerful punches, each one full of purpose. This training isn't just routine for him, it feels personal. The first fight left a lot of unanswered questions and gave critics something to talk about. Now, Davis is getting ready like someone who doesn't just want to win, he wants to dominate. He wants to make the rematch clear and leave no doubts. And his training shows how hungry he is to do that. Boxing expert Teddy Atlas has praised Gervonta Davis for his special skills in the ring. He likes how Davis stays calm and never rushes his punches. Instead, Davis watches his opponent closely and strikes at just the right moment. Atlas says what makes Davis different is how well he can adjust. He can fight from close, far, or mid-range, and he has the power to end a fight with one punch. This makes him hard to prepare for. Atlas believes that when Davis is fully focused, he's one of the most complete fighters in boxing.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses closes those gaps, you know, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you.
Even after the controversial draw in Davis's first fight with Roach, Rolly Romero still believes strongly in Davis's talent. He thinks it was just a bad night and doesn't change what Davis has achieved in his career. Romero says one off night doesn't take away from Davis's skills, record, or knockout power, which still make him one of the best in the division. With the rematch coming up, he's sure Davis will bounce back and show everyone why he's still one of the top fighters in boxing.
People want to discredit Tanguy. He's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
You want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
One thing that makes Gervonta Davis stand out from many other fighters is his strong knockout power. Unlike those who depend only on throwing lots of punches or showing clean technique, Davis can finish a fight with just one perfect shot. Experts say he doesn't need to rush. Once he gets into his rhythm, his power becomes dangerous. On the other hand, while Lamont Roach showed good skills and calmness in their first fight, he doesn't have the same kind of power to end a fight suddenly. Many believe that once Davis finds his flow in the rematch, his pressure and power could be too much for Roach, and the fight might end before the final round.
Push back because Gervonta Davis is a puncher. So the extra aggression, you have to manipulate it little by little. You know, you have to instigate the extra aggression little by little. You have to get your timing in there. You have to get
my pushback.
And also, this is a southpaw. A southpaw sometimes takes a round or two extra to sort of get their timing, get your distances, because every southpaw is a little bit different. Right now, granted, they know each other, they fought in the amateurs, but it's still a lot of years away. And Gervonta does have a very athletic, speed, quick reflex style. So you've got to sort of pressure intelligently. But while I have said in the past, and I still believe this, that Roach doesn't have that special thing like where he's got really fast hands or a really powerful punch, he still has what I also said in the past, a very good IQ. He's very well trained and very intelligent. His thought process in the ring has a great sense of positioning and a great sense of understanding of where he is in the ring and how to react off that. Could he be a little aggressive, more aggressive? Sure, but you got to keep in mind that you're fighting a puncher who's coming from the southpaw stance and coming from the southpaw athletic angle. Personally, me, especially knowing what has been said about Gervonta behind the scenes for years that nobody brings out, and it kind of brings to light why they keep matching him with 15 and 20 to 1 underdogs. There is a rumor that behind the scenes, the Gervonta, there's a lot of bitch in him. There's a lot of front runner in him. If you push him, he will break, he will fold. It starts to add up because Lamont is from the DC area. They kind of know this. They grew up around him. They fought in the amateurs.
His father, who's his coach, has coached Gervonta in fights.
So that thing sort of comes to light where it's been held back from the public with the limited opposition level that Gervonta's fought most of his career.
Boxer Jaron Boots Ennis shared his thoughts on the fight, saying that even though Davis didn't fully control the first match, he did well in the early rounds. He pointed out that Davis landed strong punches and set the pace at the beginning, something many fans seem to forget. Ennis also mentioned that the talk after the fight was more about Davis's image than his actual performance. Now the rematch gives Davis a chance to silence the critics and show why he's still seen as one of the top fighters in boxing. For Gervonta Davis, this rematch with Lamont Roach is more than just a fight. It's personal. The controversial draw in their first meeting hurt his pride and raised doubts about his position among the best. Davis knows his reputation took a hit, and he's serious about changing that. He's training with extreme focus and pushing himself harder than ever because he wants to remove all doubt and prove once again that he belongs at the top.
I gotta ask you about fights. Gervonta Davis, draw with Lamont Roach.
people looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it a draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah. And I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating them and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Davis isn't just looking to beat Roach. He wants to dominate, make a strong statement, and win back the respect he feels he lost. For him, this rematch is about more than just winning. It's about his legacy, redemption, and showing everyone that he's still one of the best in the sport.
We got to talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already known, but the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
After the first fight, Teofimo Lopez said it felt like some people in the boxing world turned their backs on Davis. The draw made many question if Davis had lost his sharpness. Lopez believes that in this rematch, Davis is not only facing Roach, but also fighting against the idea that he's slipping. This fight is a chance for Davis to prove himself again and win back the trust of the fans.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you're winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
The first fight against Roach was one of the toughest in Davis's career. Roach didn't just make it through. He fought at a high level and gave Davis real trouble. Many fans noticed that Davis struggled with Roach's timing and reach. Now, the rematch will show if Davis can adjust, or if Roach simply has the edge. Either way, It's a true test of both fighters' heart and improvement.
Most notably, I'll just speak about a fight that, we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hair band in his face or his eyes, so forth and so on, and burning his eyes. And, in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people were saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be. The fight is over.
Davis's trainers shared that they knew Roach was a strong opponent before the first fight, and their plan was carefully made, even though it didn't work as they hoped. For the rematch, they might not change much, but will focus on doing the same things better. This shows they still believe in their original strategy. It just needs to be carried out more effectively this time.
By Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity,
Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about
I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Major.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how's that rematch look like, and then what's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily.
Henry Garcia shared a different view, saying Davis might have been mentally distracted during the first fight. He pointed out that not having his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, could have affected his focus and preparation. Garcia also suggested that there may have been personal issues outside the ring that threw Davis off. For the rematch, he believes Davis will need to be fully ready, both mentally and physically, to get back to his best.
There's no way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be. And, he switched his trainer, that's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's, there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter and he's out to hurt you, but hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground, and he did a great job.
One of the most talked about moments in the first fight was when Davis went down on one knee in the 9th round, but the referee didn't call it a knockdown. This moment caused a lot of debate, with many people feeling it should have changed the final score. The incident added even more interest to the rematch, as fans and experts now want a clear result without any controversy from the officials. This upcoming fight could finally give everyone the answers they've been waiting for.
All right, man. Listen, it's been a couple of days since that Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight. And look, you fooled me once, okay? I'm going to let y'all get that. Y'all got that. But come on, man. This was a money fight, clearly, and also clearly Tank lost. I mean, there's no mistaken identity that Roach landed more punches, Tank had a higher percentage. But when we look at the punches and the punching power, it was Lamont Roach 8 rounds to 4. And then if you take in consideration that Tank took that knee, which count as a knockdown, The ref even started counting. I mean, there's nothing even to debate here. If they were tied without them even counting that, if you supposed to have counted that part, he would have actually lost the fight. It's a win for Lamont Roach. Get your bag. Go out there and say you the only person that tied with Tank Davis. But, man, if y'all fight, y'all better fight for real. Because this, be real, man.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.